Hello guys and welcome to Vlogging Project. It's Tony here, your favorite YouTuber. Today I'm going to do a quick review of the Moondrop phone with two headphone jacks, guys. Yes, that's right. This beast over here has two headphone jacks. As you can see, one a regular 3.5mm and one 4.4mm balanced output. What does balanced mean? Well, there are two channels rather than one, which means that, simply put, the noise channels are cancelling each other, so pretty much you get absolutely no noise, and due to the bigger size you get a little bit more gain and higher volume on that, a little bit more power, let's put it this way. So that's not a new concept. Back in the day we had the Marshall London phone over here, two headphone jacks. However, one of the headphone jacks doesn't work on this phone, guys. The phone thinks that it's always plugged in, which is not exactly the case, and it's very interesting that I have exactly the same issue with this phone, but I'm talking about that a little bit later on. There's one more phone with two headphone jacks. There's the Nubia Music, guys, massive speaker in the back and two regular 3.5mm jacks. However, I don't think we have any kind of built-in DACs on this particular phone, so that's just a regular phone. Over here they went above it beyond. They put two Cyrus, I believe it was 314131 or something like that, basically two inside internal amplifiers. That's why we have this bulge over here, guys. So the first thing we're gonna talk about is price. How much does this phone cost currently? I was about to say on sale, but currently the price is £400 brand new, and my advice is get a brand new device, guys, because I've bought this second hand. And let me just show you quickly. The phone thinks that all the time the headphones are plugged in, so there is no sound coming out of this phone. There's an issue with the 4.4mm jack over here with this particular device, so if you buy this phone, only buy new so they can claim on your warranty, guys. Of course there is an application for that. It says disable headphone. I can choose between headphone and speakers, and I can control the phone this way. However, my tiny speaker over here, the earpiece, doesn't work, so I have to speak on a loudspeaker all the time, and I'm really not that guy. One thing is next. Let's do a quick unboxing over here, guys. The box is kind of funky over here, but we have absolutely nothing inside apart from one very cheap cable, guys, which they've printed the Moondrop logo over here, and pretty much that is it. You got nothing else. And it would have been nice if we at least had a gel case, because there are no accessories available for this phone. The only option you've got is this absolutely horrible plastic case someone bought from Amazon, and as you can see, I don't know what's happening with my camera today, it's already cracked over here. So yeah, let's talk about the design of this phone, guys. And I appreciate that it's funky. It has the orange buttons over here. As I said before, the bulge is because of the the DACs, not because of the camera, unfortunately. A little bit on the cameras later on. It's nice and simple. The only problem I have is these extremely sharp edges over here, guys. I mean, it's built of plastic, but it's very durable, and to be honest with you, it kind of feels nice. But these two edges constantly digging in my hand like this is very annoying, guys. And the screen itself, 6.7-inch AMOLED screen. It's a curved panel, but it's a little bit too curved, guys, a little bit too curved. And sometimes when you hold the phone like this, your palm is blocking the hand, so nothing happens on the touch screen when you press like that. Now, rounded screens has been around for ages. And for example, the Leica Lights phone, they made it too curved. They fixed it on the next iteration, but come on, that's a rookie mistake. I know it's their first phone, but come on, guys, just test the device and see that you're blocking the touchscreen with that. Simple as that. The other thing is, screen protectors. Because of that, there's a gel screen protector on top of this particular device, which I absolutely hate, guys. I absolutely hate that screen. It feels like one of the foldables. It's absolutely terrible, but you don't have any other options. Pretty much at the bottom you have one of the speakers. The other speaker is actually on top, which might seem like a good idea, but they messed it up a little bit. They've put 70% coming from the bottom speaker, 30% coming from the top speaker, and overall The quality is good, however, it is nowhere near loud enough, guys. For example, I'm testing the TechnoSpark Transformance Edition phone over here, guys. It's a cheap device, 200 and something bucks, twice as cheap as this one, and this one has better stereo speakers, again with the same setup with the speaker on top. So I don't know what they did over there, but definitely not good enough. Now, before I continue with this review, I'm going to answer one simple question, guys. How good are these 3.5mm and 4.4mm jacks? The 3.5mm jack is too powerful for any regular headphones. For example, the Marshall headphones over here, you cannot increase the volume beyond 70% because you feel like these are going to explode, guys. And these are not exactly super cheap headphones, but they're on the low end. If you put something a little bit more serious, like the Sony headphones, you better use the 4.4mm jack over here, and above 70% it becomes unbearable for your ears, guys. It is that powerful, but it's absolutely amazing, guys. The sound quality is unlike anything I have heard before coming out of this phone. There's a built-in application as well for the your hi-fi FLAC files, for example. It's better to listen through that application, but not to worry, most headphones nowadays don't have 4.4mm jacks. You can actually buy one on eBay or AliExpress or whatever. This little adapter over here costs like £6, and what it gives you is, you know, you just plug it in over here on your regular 3.5, and it gives you more power and more clarity drawn out of this phone. Simple as that. So now the question is, do you need a phone with all this stuff built in, or you can go back to Moondrop, the same brand, and buy one of these portable DACs? Well, the answer to this question is, guys, save your money. Don't waste £400 on this phone. Buy one of these. Why is that so? You can use this dongle to any phone, guys. You can use your regular whatever phone you're using, and you're getting the same power, because this little dongle over here, £43 on Amazon, or $50, has absolutely the same hardware, the two Cyrus, you know, DACs inside here as well, and you have the 4.4 and 3.5mm jacks and volume control over here, plus an additional application for more control over this one. So basically, the only reason to buy this phone is to not have a dongle. However, there is a price that you have to pay. Absolutely everything else on this phone, guys, is average at the best. We talk about the speakers already, we talk about the headphone output. This is understandable. The screen is definitely nice enough. Some testers claim that you can see that the fingerprint is a little bit slow. Some testers claim that the screen doesn't go as bright as you know, the other AMOLED screens. There is no way for me to know that because we have no sun over here in the UK, so I have no idea. It works fine. And you know, the fingerprint reader is, it works sometimes. The face unlock, let me show you guys. The face unlock, yeah, but you know, all of that takes a little bit of time overall. The next thing is, the setup of this phone was very simple. There is no option to transfer your files, anything like that. Very simple setup. And this is the screen that you are greeted, guys. These icons are absolutely horrendous, guys. Absolutely horrendous. One thing you can do is you can go back to wallpaper. Wait, no, not over here. Wallpaper and style over here, and just change to Android theme icons, which are quite terrible as well, but at least there are normal looking icons. Now, what sort of hardware do we have inside? 12 gigabytes of RAM, never had an issue with the RAM. 256 storage. Is a hybrid SIM card, either 2 SIM cards or 1 SIM card and 1 memory card slot, which is not perfect, but still it's nice to see, guys. And you know what else? We have the Dimensity 750 inside, which is supposed to be a very powerful chipset. It actually is. In terms of gaming, I can play, you know, Wreckfest. That's the only game that I've played nowadays pretty much. You can play Wreckfest all day long, guys. The phone doesn't heat up too much, and it's actually very playable. Not that many phones, apart from the you know, flagships, can actually run this game properly on a higher settings. Another thing that I'm a little bit annoyed is that the volume never goes down to 0. Okay, it does now. It does now. Okay. Fair enough. Very weird. Now, when you're playing the media, you can actually go down, but when you're in the menu, it doesn't go down, which you know, okay, whatever. So yeah, guys, let me have a look. Let me have a look. What can we do over here? I've already done that. Okay, tournament. Just for the sake of it, I just want to show you that it's actually playable. But yeah, gaming wise, you're not gonna have an issue. What you're gonna have an issue is with general performance. This chip is just not optimized in this particular phone, guys. I don't know why that is. They just didn't put the effort, I can imagine. But performance, it's sometimes laggy, it's sometimes not nice. There is no particular issues like freezing or anything like that, but in general I feel like they could have done a little bit better in terms of optimization, guys. But as you can see, the game is absolutely playable with very decent frame rates, so you're not gonna have an issue with that. Now, one thing that I don't like is that the theme over here, check this out, it's supposed to be a dark theme, but you know, it's actually kind of gray. I know it looks a little bit different on the camera, but it's actually gray. It's not exactly you know, black. And I mean, I don't think you can download any other themes or anything like that, so definitely you have to use a third-party launcher. Now, one other thing about the software, by the way, the screen is 120 Hz, so overall, you know, it's okay on most applications. It works fine. But as you can see, I just tapped the settings and nothing happens. It's like, okay. So one thing you can do is you go about the, let's see, where do we go? We go systems. Where is that? Right, about phone. Where is the system update? Right, so the phone came out with Android 13, guys, and a lot of the reviewers were complaining, oh, why Android 13? Well, there you go, Android 14. Android 14 is here, guys. Android 14 is here, which is fine, but the security is stuck to August 2024, guys. 6 or 7 months later, you get absolutely no updates. One more annoying thing about this phone is it keeps pressing buttons in my pocket, guys. I have disabled, you know, screensaver. I have disabled, I think I have disabled double tap to wake the screen. Yeah, I have disabled that, but as you can see, the fingerprint lights up over here regardless sometimes, and when you put the phone in your pocket straight away, it keeps pressing the buttons, and you can hear from your you know, from your pocket, and you're like, what is happening? We used to have these issues 10 years ago, guys. Come on. So yes, I know it doesn't look very good so far, but wait until you hear about the cameras, guys, because it gets a little bit worse actually. Just give me 1 second to sip you know, a little bit of water because my mouth is dry at the moment. Oh, by the way, I almost forgot, you cannot use you know, contactless payments on this phone because it doesn't pass Google security, which is absolutely unfortunate, guys. Because the hardware is there, NFC is there. And one other thing, Google Play Store was not activated out of the box, so you have to go in the settings and activate that, which is a little bit annoying, but nevertheless. Talking about the cameras now, at the front, 32 megapixel OmniVision sensor. Well, the photos during daytime are kind of acceptable, but once the light goes off, you know, you got some terrible images, guys. On the plus side, you have 1080p video with excellent stabilization, guys. I didn't really expect that. The microphones are not that great. It feels like I'm on the water a little bit, but you know, it is what it is. And at the back, you might think that, oh, you know, that bulge over here is because of the massive cameras. Well, no, we have an 8 megapixel OmniVision sensor, super wide angle, which is pretty much horrific. Have a look at this photo over here, guys. And the main sensor is Sony IMX686 64 megapixel sensor. And you might think, oh my god, that's not that bad actually. Well, you go on the Moondrop website and it says on the camera department, can you imagine, guys? It says camera is not good, but it works, which is kind of weird for a company to say. But if they know that the camera is not good, why advertise that it's actually great and put fake moon shots on your phone? It doesn't make too much sense. So kudos for Moondrop for admitting the camera is not that great. It's not that great because the sensor were released in 2020, guys. They used a 4-year-old sensor for this camera, and you know, in daylight, the shots are actually fine, nothing wrong with that. If you use the 2x magnification or zoom, let's put it this way, things become quite terrible. The AI is pretty terrible. So just look at these photos, guys. These colors are way off, and if you turn off the AI, you can actually get a normal photo. Now, to my surprise, there is 4K and the stabilization is quite good, guys. So overall, the camera is not great. It is not exactly that useless, guys. I would say that it's usable on day-to-day scenarios. However, it is not good if you take this phone on a holiday, guys, for example. So yeah, that's about it, guys. That's all I have to say about this phone. Having a look at the Volokin Spectrum scoring system, where I've tested nearly 200 Android phones, guys. Can you imagine? This phone gets just 34 out of 50 scoring, and it's on par with some very old phones and with the Essential Phone 1, which is basically a very flawed device, guys. So pretty much, apart from the dual stereo headphone, which, you know, remember, this one is defective already, there is no other reason to buy this phone, guys. So my advice to you will be just buy one of these DACs, again from Moondrop. This is you know, aluminum, by the way, and it looks very, very nice. It has you know, notification LED over here. And basically after that, just go ahead and buy one of these 4.4mm adapters on eBay for £6. So basically 50 quid. This is gonna cost you 50 quid, guys, and you can convert any phone you have to you know, the perfect pretty much audio device, where although you have it built in over here, everything else about this phone is kind of on the weak side, guys. And although I'm really, you know, I'm really a fan of weird and old devices, well, not old devices, but weird devices which offer something unique. To begin with, I don't like the name. What is this? This is MIAD01. It's this mobile internet and audio device, right? Okay, so mobile internet is like something revolutionary. You know, it's silly, guys. It's just silly. And the theme, okay, I kind of like it, but it reminds me of a kind of a Star Wars knockoff or something like that. I mean, come on, guys. The target group for this phone is, I would say, people over 30 years old, which can actually buy an expensive pair of headphones to be able to utilize all this power, which means people with a little bit more money. And serious people, 30, 40, 50 years old, they're not gonna like this theme that much, guys. It's a little bit childish. Come on. I mean, you saw the box earlier. So yeah, although I appreciate what they've done over here, they really tried to come up with something. I think it's too expensive for what it is, guys. Honestly, this phone, it's not worth more than £250 for the phone itself, and let's say £50 for the DACs. If they've put this phone to 250, they would have sold it like hotcakes, you know. If it was 300, they could have sold some units, but for £400 and risking to pay, you know, import fees and stuff like that, and especially with the issue that I have with the 4.4mm jack, guys, it is really not a very good option. So yeah, that is my recommendation. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Adios.